Welcome to my show, 5 Minute Flashpoints with Tio Uncle VR. The show is a race to get to all my points in 5 minutes or less, but quite honestly, it's always a lot more. I'm always striving to test new formats on these videos. Hope you like the visuals. Our subject today will be a review of New York Jets weekly news in a flash. This week's top 5 keys to the game against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Without further ado, let's go. Point number 5. Key number 5. Stop the run. The Titans running back Tony Pollard was one of the lone bright spots for the Titans offense in week 1, racking up 82 yards on 16 carries for an average of 5.1 yards per carry while adding a rushing touchdown. It is a long shot that the Titans quarterback Will Levis is going to lead this team to any victories. So they're better off leaning on Pollard and their running game. Now, on Monday Night Football, Jordan Mason, who was the backup for Christian McCaffrey, who came up injured and didn't play, torched the Jets for 147 yards on 28 carries, which translated to a back-breaking 5.2 yards per carry. Now, our defense has to do a better job in the trenches, or Tony Pollard is going to have a big day, and we are going to have a long day. On to point number 4, time of possession. The San Francisco 49ers controlled the clock for almost 39 minutes in this game, leaving only 21 minutes of time for the New York Jets offense. 8 minutes of that time was garbage time when Robert Saleh succumbed to defeat and took Aaron Rodgers out of the game in the fourth quarter and put Tyrod Taylor in, who scored a touchdown in garbage time. Additionally, the 12 minutes that we had time of possession, there was a fumble by Breece Hall and an interception which went off the hands of a receiver that wasn't the fault of Aaron Rodgers. Basically, all I'm trying to say is that we need to control the time of possession. It's going to be paramount to set the tone, which brings me to key point number 3, establishing the run. Breece Hall had 54 yards on 16 carries, and it just seemed like there was no holes to run through against the San Francisco 49ers defense. Now, one of the big selling points this year was the offensive line, and that it was revamped with the signing of big names like Tyron Smith at left tackle and reacquiring Morgan Moses and signing John Simpson. Now, while the offensive line held up in pass protection, it appeared the offensive line was slow to the point of attack and blocking during running plays. This has to improve against the Titans. Low key, the Titans kept the Bears' offense to 2.8 yards per play, which was the fewest in the NFL in the opening week, first week. On to point number 2, key number 2, and that's going to be coaching. Robert Saleh seemed to be outcoached and out-schemed by Kyle Shanahan. Ultimately, the buck stops with the head coach. However, offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett did not inspire confidence even with Aaron Rodgers in his play calling. In retrospect, and in fairness to the San Francisco 49ers, they were the defending NFC champions last year. But this game was not competitive. It appeared at times that it was the junior varsity playing against the varsity. As Robert Saleh once coached under Kyle Shanahan as the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. This has to improve with the Titans, who have a relative inexperienced head coach in Brian Callahan. But don't let that fool you. His father, Bill Callahan, is not only the offensive line coach, but brings a wealth of knowledge as a former head coach. And finally, point and key number 1, Aaron Rodgers. The Jets had Aaron Rodgers back under center, but they looked lost for most of the night. Now, Rodgers was respectable, 13 for 21, 167 yards and 3/4 of play with a touchdown and an interception, which was an 82.8 rating. He had flashes of his old self, but there were long stretches where he could not move the ball. The Jets only had 49 plays as they failed to sustain drives. Now, there is a silver lining. Aaron Rodgers can still sling the ball. He lasted more than 4 plays and survived defenders knocking him down to the ground again. He moved well enough out of harm's way when it was necessary, and the laser show seemed to be back in his throws. Now, the shoulder throw, the Lazard sideline throw where he caught him in stride, and the free play seam route touchdown were all previews of hope. And we can see this upcoming season where Aaron Rodgers, if he gets his rhythm, NFL, watch out. A storm is coming and hell is coming with him. I said, repeat, hell is coming with him. Please note that I use sources for my material like the New York Post, NewYorkJets.com for my flashpoints, and just wanted to give them credit in my video. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy the content on this channel, please feel free to tip us, as you can find our information at our YouTube channel, The 411 on New York Sports, in the description. QR code is at the top of this video. This concludes my time as I sign off. Have a great day, and always remember, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. And just like that, he was gone.